Hi neighbors! Welcome to this episode of Let's Talk About with Cami. I'm Cami Watkins and I'm running for the City Council in Omaha, Nebraska, District 3. I apologize that for the last couple of weeks we haven't been releasing videos because we've been really busy in the campaign doing community forums as well as gearing up because we're just about 30 days away from the primary. But today we're back and I want to talk about gentrification. Now recently I've been reading a book called How to Kill a City, Gentrification, Inequality, and the Fight for the Neighborhood. Now, I'm only halfway through this book, but I'm already mad as hell. This book by Peter Moskowitz starts with defining what gentrification is. He then goes on to explore the phenomenon of gentrification through the lens of 4 cities: Detroit, New York, San Francisco, and New Orleans. Now, the key takeaway for me, and I believe the primary intent of this book, is to drill home that gentrification is not a trend that is caused by hipsters' personal desire for fancy coffee shops and craft breweries, then implemented by individual developers. Instead, it's a system that places the needs of capital profits above the needs of the people. He explains that a large cause and catalyst for gentrification is the decision of governmental entities to build capital and deciding to do so by making possible the act of gentrification to remove lower income individuals from city centers and replacing them with wealthier people to increase the tax base. Now, for many, this may sound like a logical plan to ensure that cities are funded and able to do the business of management. However, what this book shows us is the impact of this process in the long term. If we look at spaces and cities like San Francisco and New York who have been playing the gentrification long game for decades, it shows that the end product of the system of gentrification is the creation of cities that aren't livable for anyone who is not rich or in the upper middle class, thus making neighborhoods no longer a place to live a normal life, but more of a luxury commodity. The process of gentrification is meant to pit us against each other, forcing neighborhoods to fight with developers as if we are enemies, when in reality, we are not each other's enemy. We are all pawns in a game of power and profits that is being played by the real power brokers of our cities, wealthy investors, and political leaders. Now, as bleak as this story seems, what is crucial for us to understand is that while the process of gentrification is happening, it is not inevitable or unmanageable. The author of How to Kill a City suggests that cities are shaped by powerful interests, and if we identify those interests, we can reshape our cities into our own image. So we have to start to question who is really running our cities. We also have to address the inherent apathy of our populace. Why are we so willing to coast as a city and just accept the mundane, which serves only a few at the expense of the many? What is holding us back from supporting the change that would bring about the thriving city we all want and deserve? We have to understand that the path that we are on is not one that leads to our prosperity. The tools for a stronger, thriving city are right in front of us. However, in order to enact this future, we have to first elect leaders that are willing to move this change forward. As much as I would like to say that I alone can do this work, that is simply not true. I need everyone in Omaha, voter or not, to engage in our local government, to hold me and any elected official, current or future, accountable to the city we all deserve. Our past does not need to be our future. We can shift the tide of our city and push back against the interest of capital profits over people and address our financial deficits. It just takes the willingness to try something different. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves and each other, and until next time.